So we got some massive changes coming to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Warzone in terms of weapon balancing, and we got the demise of the Grau coming up. Now what's going on, guys? Johnny here, and all questions are wondering on when Infinity Ward's going to be stepping in and changing up the weapon balance for Modern Warfare and Warzone. If you guys have been playing Warzone, we all know that pretty much the Grau is the dominant weapon in the game in Warzone. If you're not using a Grau, you're not trying. And in my opinion, I do think the Grau isn't the best weapon in Warzone. That's just my opinion. I actually don't like the setup people have been using. I do prefer the other setup, but again, I do find myself using other guns because I don't think the Grau is as effective as people are making it out to be. With that being said, Infinity Ward has noted that the Grau has been seeing a increase or a massive substantial use in Warzone, and specifically on Charlie Intel, they quoted one of the people working at Infinity Ward. I forget, it's something I can't really properly cite this guy, but he does work along with Warzone, and he basically said we have a patch of weapon tuning in the works for the mid-season update. Patch notes will be outlined when they drop. And the question basically was, on a serious note, guys, when is the Grau going to be nerfed? At least 90% of the kill cams are from the Grau, and I do admit I feel like that's the case. Does that not tell you anything? The M4 was nerfed 3 times immediately. The Grau is ruining Warzone right now. And in general, I think a lot of people in the community do feel like the Grau is very powerful, and it's ruining the overall experience of Warzone. Now, I do enjoy Warzone because I could use a bunch of different weapons that have made work in Warzone. But again, if you're not using the Grau, apparently you're not trying. And I do think that the Grau does need to be reworked. Now, what's coming? When is it coming? What's coming? We are basically in the dark. But basically, he kind of said that, you know, the Grau is definitely one of the weapons in this tweet. He basically just said, yeah, we're going to agree with you. The Grau is going to be nerfed. Now, what are they going to be nerfing? I don't know. I'm hoping for a little bit more recoil and maybe a little bit reduction on range damage. Because again, it does everything so good. Like, if we look at the new CR56, I personally think that this weapon destroys medium to long range, but it does suffer a little bit on the closer range side because you have the M13, you have the M4A1, you have other weapons that are just as good up close as the CR56, but those weapons do lack damage output. But the CR56 has an advantage there. So I do think there needs to be pros and cons to this weapon. And right now the Grau has no con for the most part to the general community. So I'm excited to see that being nerfed. Now, other weapons I do want to see nerfed, you know, the car sniper rifle I think does need to be a little bit tuned because that's pretty much the main sniper people use for the most part. There's no reason to use a actual sniper rifle instead of a marksman rifle like the car. You know, it does everything so much faster. And, you know, in general, while I still use the AX50, I do find a lot of people using the car, so I hope they do, you know, just the handling maybe gets a little bit of tuning, but that's one weapon I like to see. Now, another weapon I want to see kind of tuned out is the MP5 and the MP7. Now, I do use these weapons a good bit, but I do feel like when it comes to Warzone, these are very dominant SMGs. Now, I don't think they're the best SMGs in terms of Warzone. I think there could be better ones, you know, like the Bison is really powerful because of the high mag capacity, but again, in general, I do feel like that a lot of people are using the MP7 and the MP5, so that will be something I want to be, you know, nerfed a little bit. Now, one thing I do want to see buff is light machine guns. Now, the ammo count for the assault rifles and LMGs definitely caps the shit out of LMGs, and I would like for them to at least maybe increase the amount for light machine guns. Now, I don't know how people feel because the ammo capacity for ARs you can increase to 60, and the Bren LMG I uses a 60 round magazine instead of a 100 or 200 round magazine. But in general, I do want to see LMGs potentially get their own little ammo set because I do feel like they're not as useful because of the fact that they're capped at 210 bullets. And in Warzone, you catch yourself needing a lot of bullets often, and sometimes you do run out of ammo if you're not in these high octane engagements all the time. And sometimes, yeah, you can't really find these engagements because you got a magical drop and you landed where everybody didn't land. And sometimes that happens. It can be beneficial in the long haul, but really hurts you when it comes to ammunition. But in general, what other weapons would I like to see, you know, get some tuning? You know, maybe the M4 gets a slight buff. I don't really know. I do feel like it does suffer a little bit on ranges. I've been trying to use it, and it's good, but it's not as good as I like it to be. Another weapon, maybe shotguns get a overhaul in general. I do feel like shotguns are completely useless unless the M870 with incendiary rounds. I think I had incendiary rounds. There was one with incendiary rounds that was at least somewhat useful. But in general, I feel like shotguns, you see a shotgun, you're like, oh, wow, Jesus, I might as well just use a pistol. And that's really honestly the case. The pistol is really powerful when compared to the shotgun. And I do think the shotgun does need to be some retuning, you know, make them at least effective at what it is, close range. Make them, you know, two-shot people. Now, that might be a little bit risky because people do get a lot of engagements in buildings. So if someone has a shotgun, it's almost like an automatic loss. But again, shotguns do need love, and I would love to see them, you know, rehash out and balance shotguns in Warzone. But in general, let me know what you guys think and what other weapons you want to see tuned out, you know, balanced out, nerfed to oblivion, buffed to oblivion, whatever it is. Let me know down in the comment section below, and like this video if you enjoyed and found it informative. For more Call of Duty videos like this, news, information, all that good juicy Call of Duty stuff, subscribe to the channel, Call of Duty, you know, obviously, and subscribe for any other game on this channel. I would definitely be playing more than just Call of Duty, because if I play Call of Duty every single day, I'll have a little bit of a sanity issue. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's all I got for this one. Shot Ninja here, and I'm out.